So, which is why we weren't here tonight.
What level do you want to
do? What level would you guys like to do?
I picked everything else, so I'm going to let you guys pick.
4?
Okay.
10? 20?
Teen.
Which one?
How often do you get to play level 20?
Not often.
I've never gotten to play level 20.
It's been
roll up a level
years.
20.
All right.
Oh my god, I could just edit an existing character I have already. Oh, this is gonna be great. That'd be a druid. I'm gonna be a moon druid.
I have no idea.
Hit that roll 20. So what we're doing tonight is some madness and chaos, just like it says. We're going to have a level 20 one-shot since we are missing 2 of our players at the last minute. With the one, we don't know where they are, so we wish Alec the very best. By the way, you will notice on the overlays that everybody has inspiration. I was kind of working from memory, and I think I gave everybody what they want. I think Nerida also had some healing, but if you use them here, it's going to carry over. We're just going to have that murky mirror going on. So you can feel free to use your inspiration, your plot points, whatever. It's a strange world. Hey, Shade, there's a level 20. Yeah, Shade, didn't you know that was an option? We let somebody buy for bit points, and I think they gave us like $5. So we just advanced everybody to level 20, and I'm so full of it right now. This is absolutely not true, Shade. Don't get bent out of the way. No, we're just doing a fun one-shot since 2 players aren't here, and I asked what everybody would like, and I said, let's just do a level 20 because I've done a lot of stuff at a lot of cons, and we can absolutely do this.
Delete one of my D&D Beyond characters, but I already made a backup of them, so it's fine. Let's see. Cold War into Hell, the campaign. Character.
So you'll see a bunch of level 20s tonight here, Shade. We'll be having a whole bunch going on. You know, interestingly enough, I could pull up a... While they're doing that, I'm actually thinking about how I could pull up some Twitch. Where are you? Why don't I see the Twitch? Interesting. Oh, there we go. I can cheat that way. Let's see if we can't get all the way up. Whoop, there's a level 20. Look at that. See, Shade, now you're on the screen. Go figure. Look at that. Ain't that beautiful? Just beautiful, buddy. Just beautiful. There we go. And let's go throw some dice rolls. I think throwing some dice rolls would be kind of cool, too. Let's move those, and we'll cover up the other window. Ah! I grabbed the wrong thing. We'll just put the dice rolls where Kitty would normally be. Here, look at that. Haha. Now you got dice rolls and chat. I think my DM is realizing that he shouldn't have given me the ability to do tattoos. You know, there's never a shouldn't. I give away stuff all the time, but do we have party balance and whatnot? It really depends on the table. Breaking the world, again, it's a game setting, can be a lot of fun, and I believe actually in empowering our players to do it. But I also try to get a feel for what my players are looking for in advance. So for these games, when we're playing the regular game, there is a balance. And I, as the DM, if things get too out of balance, I don't punitively go after the players. I don't try to take away stuff. If they get bigger, the world's going to get bigger. You know, you have fun with it. But one of the things that all my players at my table know in advance is magic items are absolutely destructible. If you have a wood wand, chances are it will burn. It will be snapped, like when Harry Potter does the impossible at the end of the movie and snaps the Elder Wand, you know, which is unlike the book. Really freaking cool, but it's like things can be broken. Nothing, you're not invulnerable. You know, there is no Marisha Ray. We are gods. Yeah, you're a fish flopping and you're going to die. You know, there's a reality to it. And the balance is just there. So magic swords break. You know, Tarrasques do eat the world. So
occasionally.
It's like There was a fun adventure one-shot that we did called Planet of the Tarrasques. That was kind of fun. And it's kind of the same concept as tonight. You know what? Level 20s are fun. We should have them more often. And, hey, Shade, let us know what do you think of the new overlays and whatnot. You're actually the first person to view them since we don't have any other viewers in at the moment. I'd kind of be interested to hear. Let's see. Boom, boom. All right. How you guys doing on your roll-ups? Having
Good.
fun?
I'm not doing too bad. I'm just trying to make something super quick.
Yeah. Cool.
I was not expecting what I got, and I think it's hilarious.
Love it. He's like, I made a clown. It'll be a happy, happy clown. And so here's a question for you. And I'll even let Shade chime in on this one. We have 2 wild magics and an extreme wild magic, a world-changing wild magic. That are in the wings. Potentially world-changing. I mean, it might only change just a small thing like when all the gems disappeared. I bring this up because, as I just said, Murky Mira... Pardon me. Plot points used or lost tonight are part of what's happening in the regular characters. So, would you like your DM to use those wild magics tonight? I say this, and the reason I'm letting Shade chime in is because potentially somebody who bought those might say, well, geez, I wanted to see those happen to our regular characters. But also our regular characters might be like, wow, what a great way to get rid of them tonight. So, I'm going to listen to both sides. Shade can chime in as our 12th man player here tonight, and you can all chime in. What do you think? Should I include the wild magics? Because obviously there's going to be a lot of wild magic. We're talking about level 20 stuff.
Oh my.
I think that since it was the chat that bought them, it's more the chat that should get to decide how we use them. Especially because I would like very much not to have the wild magics interrupt our game right now. This game would be great to have them in.
So what do you
so
think?
what is chat saying?
So far, nothing other than, yeah, I think I bought one of them, Shade says. So it's like, yeah. But that's also the interesting flip side. You never want to let just one person pick for everybody. And that's why I try to solicit lots of input. Once, so we have Colton. He's ready. Just give me a holler when each of you are ready so that we can begin, and I'll give you a quick setting.
All right. Will do.
Are we choosing any special items or anything like that?
I think being level 20 is probably enough to start. I think you're going to have plenty of abilities.
Okay.
I don't want to get into this whole, I'm looking for the items that my character, we're going to waste way too much time. If it was a planned one shot, yeah, there would absolutely be items, but.
Oh. It's all good.
All right. I just slapped something together pretty quick. We'll call it good.
Cool.
I literally hit the random button. So I'm good to go.
There is something wonderfully beautiful about that. Just make a random character, pick a level at all. And it's like, what is this? I mean, that was what I loved about going to conventions. It was like, sign me up, man. I want to play whatever's here. And then you get this NPC and it's like, it's improv. How can I do this? It's a challenge to me. Because otherwise I'll overthink it. I'll start thinking about magic items. What does this do? What does that do? What do I like to play? And you're way overthinking it. It's like, dude, improv it. And, it's a one-shot. Your character might die. Who knows? Just have fun. The question isn't whether you live or die. It's did I have fun playing the game? All right, so we will. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do an in-between. There will be 2 wild magics. However, I will keep the asterisk, the kerfuffle wild magic, for the main table.
That's really
Similarly, my DM disadvantage will be available to be used. I don't have any NPCs that we have to protect, so I will use that tonight at a time when it seems I'm rolling against the players or something on a roll. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. All right. setting the stage. We're in the Eberron world, and you guys have been happily part of this magnificent artistic nation that is known worldwide as the center for arts, for elegance. The best things in the world come from here. Well, that is up until about a month ago, when mysteriously everything changed. The world didn't just go dark, the world went wild as the nation of Cyre, your homeland, was overtaken by what? By mystery? By darkness? By evil magics? Had the enemy finally overcome your entire nation in this damnable war? You don't know. No one's around, and few living are able to give the answers, because in the month since you dragged yourself out of the ruins, in the month since you were able to survive running, just trying to find food which was sometimes tainted, food which was sometimes alive, food which sometimes tried to eat you, in this crazy world where literally the landscape itself has been permanently altered, where you've gone up to people and they were dead individuals stuck in a rut, living out a loop, killing one another in the battles and the war that has been raging forever on. You are one of those unusual survivors. What the heck just happened? I got audio coming in from
We have
somewhere.
a 7-people crew.
Plot points just went weird on my stream, and I have no idea why.
All right. So now we're up to
There we
hardcore
are.
restart.
And that's
What is it,
Ghibli
13?
Jam. She's
Yep.
coming live, but I don't know why Ghibli Jam's coming on my thing. Can you please
I would
stop?
say you need to
Go to
count
my
back
channel.
before I joined as a point.
Oh my
as
gosh.
Like a half fail.
Stop.
So-
First of all, let's kill that volume. And I don't know why it's fighting me there. Whatever. Are we not live? Because on this computer it's telling me I'm not live. And it's telling me I'm showing Ghibli Jam. Whatever.
Looks good to me.
Alright,
Yeah,
good. As long as it's coming out live
Go
on
ahead.
you. Because on mine, it's showing me Ghibli Jam on the Plot Points channel. No idea why. That's the craziness that happened to the Cyre, which is now known as the Mournland, but it hasn't quite achieved that name yet. It's only been a month. And you're one of those crazy individuals who actually survived. Will your story be told? We're about to find out. As you try to escape from the Mournland, we pick up where 3 intrepid survivors have gotten together, each with their own story. Right now, you've gathered. Where have you gathered is the question. Salty, Dan, tell us where we're at.
I would say we're at a place of relative safety, within a cave, outside of the harsh winds outside. The weather is unpleasant, but the fire inside is nice.
And what do they see when they meet this individual in this cave?
It looks like a fairly stout-looking little halfling man
I love it.
with a couple of daggers, and one of them looks kind of broken. I don't think it's usable anymore, but the other one is nice and sharp.
Colton, how long have you guys been together in this cave?
We've been there for a few weeks now. You see Mormir. He sits in ragged clothes. His flesh is white. He's giant Goliath body, dwarfing the halfling. He holds a staff that's more like a tree, just this gnarled branch, and he uses both hands to carry it forward in front of himself. And everywhere he goes, it's like he's coming out of a shadow because of this tree branch that he holds, even though he's a giant.
Oh my. So what I would like each of you to do, and I'm going to get to Stranger here in one moment, I'd like each of you to post your name, your race, your class in the chat so that they have that as well. Stranger, what is it as you've gathered at this cave with the others that you've missed most, and why would you choose to be here with them? In fact, you get to answer, what order did you all arrive here?
I think Mormir's been here first. 'Cause- 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 I am the most recent arrival. So I have my character ready except for spells. I'm still just preparing spells because level 20 druid's a lot of spells.
It is.
And I'm sure level 20 wizard is a lot too. So
I just clicked prepare.
yeah,
A lot of stuff.
I am a little more specific than that, but yeah, I know
Well,
what
druid
spells
has
I just have to.
everything.
Yeah, druid has everything. So as for what was the first part of the question? I'm sorry. I know the order is Mormir, Shinsplint, is that your name?
Shinsplint.
And then Elodie is my character's name. I'll type it out here.
Wonderful. So it was about when did you get here, and what are you regretting having left behind? That way you would be the first one to share a little of your backstory.
I think I've gotten here about within the last 24 hours, maybe even sooner than that. I think I've kind of just arrived, and I've appeared out of seemingly nowhere, and I am regretting leaving behind an adventuring companion.
Wow.
Whom I was separated from during an errant plane shift spell.
So, Klaak, or I'm sorry, Colton. The problem is when it starts scrolling on the bottom, I just use those names. Colton, Mormir and our halfling, whose name is Shinsplit. Mormir and Shinsplit have been here for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Were you together beforehand?
No, this is my mage tower was in the mountain, and it was all, you would have loved it. That you've come now is a disgrace. All my supplies are destroyed. The wood that made it, this petrified wood, was of ancient make, and I've lost all of my research and all of my everything to be able to go. We could go anywhere in the world if I had my things, but it's all been destroyed here, and now all I have is this hovel.
Wow. Did you know about this hovel in advance?
Oh, this is my tower, the whole mountain here. It was the petrified wood, and it would go up in this in a mage tower all the way up, and now all we have is the ground floor, just an entrance.
So Shinsplit, what brought you here?
It looked like a nice place to hole up for a little while. I kind of miss being able to stay in nice ritzy hotels and everything, making some money just fighting people and stuff. I used to be pretty good at it, but you pull yourself up off the streets any way that you particularly can. And I found that I was pretty good at splitting shins, so I made a good living at it. I can't exactly say that this is much of a downgrade from some previous points of life. So, que sera, whatever they say.
So, Mormir, why did you accept, after 3 weeks, with the blowing wind outside, this mist that you can't see more than 20 feet behind the cave entrance? Why did you accept this human? And what gender are you, stranger? Is
Female.
Elodie. Female. Why did you accept this female who came, this human, bedraggled as she was, coming into the cave?
Well, as I said, we could leave this existence, this plane, and go to one of the other planes, but I have none of my metal rods that bind me to the elemental planes. And seeing this person, this druid, most likely, it looks like, how would maybe they would have one of the planar elements. We could go another place. I'm missing all of my other materials, and hopefully this other person coming in maybe has things that I need.
Elodie, you've heard some of the sounds of battle. You've been escaping through the mist before you got here. What was the most notable thing that you noticed during the 3 weeks since the fall of Coyote?
That in this place wherever I've landed, because I'm not from here whatsoever, I'm from a different material plane. In this place, there are signs that the how do I put it? Where Elodie came from, the elemental planes had converged in an apocalyptic scenario, and her adventuring companion had fixed that. They were the heroes and had fixed that, but here there are signs that the same thing is going to happen again. So maybe there were some strange elemental like creatures going around the battlefield through the mists.
Oh, there's more than elemental creatures that you would have noticed during this 3 weeks. You have seen literal living lightning. You have heard the screams of troops, oftentimes through the mist, in the gray. In the moments when you could actually see land at one point, you saw a lake, and drawing closer to it, the entire lake was blood. Literal figures of dead individuals, some of them mutated, crawling their way out of the lake, and others that appeared to be human walking into it. What strangeness had taken this land could only be described as a living nightmare. Perhaps that was what it was, a living nightmare that had taken this whole place. You'd heard of different things such as the Cordy and other strange people with strange abilities, but you yourselves each have magnificent abilities. Perhaps that is why you survived. But now you find the three of you together in a cave. And of course the real question is, how will you escape the Mournland? This nation that you previously loved. Well, of course, maybe you didn't, because Strangers picked a background for her character that she's not from here anyway, so she's got zero bonds to all of this. So the two of you might want to live and survive. She might be just happy going around with all the elementals in here and stuff.
Now, Mourning, what I was saying was, though, is that I don't understand why you can't just put magic on your fist and just punch a hole through reality. Can't you do that? I hear wizards are really good at a lot of things.
Okay, yes, that is what it looks like when I do it, but I need to do math to do that.
There's no math in punching, just make a magic fist and punch.
No, that's the easiest way to explain it. You use dragon's math, and then I can punch through reality.
Oh, I don't do none of that math stuff. It just hurts.
That's why you don't punch through reality.
Give me time. I'll punch through reality. I'll say I can. Fuck you.
Question for the DM. I use a spell casting focus, but for spells that require a material component, would I be considered to have all of those material components, including like plane shift things that apparently a certain wizard is lacking? Because I have the plane shift spell.
If that's your biggest thing that you would like to play tonight, sure, why not? You go right ahead.
We're going to make it real difficult for you tonight, Sean. So.
If you want it? No, there ain't nothing difficult for me. It's a one-shot, man. If that's what you want to do, man, plane shift out of here. Have a blast. Victory! You have won D&D. Have a blast. All right, so right now, this other individual, I mean, how are you even engaging? It's only been 24 hours. You said you only came in yesterday. Why did you come to this fallen, petrified tree? That's a question for Elodie. You're the last one that came, you said, within 24 hours.
Because this is where my, when my traveling companion and I saved our world, a big planar rift happened and we got separated, and this is just where I've wound up. So I'm just kind of going around like, oh, where am I? What is that? Oh, that looks bad.
It stands to reason that your companion would have fallen somewhere near where you did. We should go and look for them.
Perhaps.
Even though I feel the safest would be to get away from here, I think maybe that's what we need to do. I've watched over this land for a long time, and I can't say that I'm not. I'm happy to see it destroyed, but I don't know how to save its inhabitants. But we could maybe save your friend.
Possibly. What is going on around here?
There was devastation, chaos, the end of order, the end of life as I know it. I lost all of my things, but everyone else lost their lives. And those that are, from what you've said, seem to be roiling in pain eternally.
Sounds pretty awful.
It doesn't sound a whole lot different than living on a city street, if you ask me.
The best we could do is put them out of their misery, I believe. I don't know that I have enough to assuage their pain.
Well, when we went through the rift, there was definitely there was this planar explosion, and I'm familiar somewhat with these things, but where I land, I don't think it's possible that they landed somewhere there. I'm not sure where, but if there is anything we can do to help these people, then maybe we should.
What is your suggestion? I could get them away to freedom, but I don't even think that the life is with them. And look at me, I'm scarred beyond belief now. My skin has been paled. I lack nutrition even. I have no way of getting anything that I need here. We must at least move through.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm unfamiliar with this place, so I suppose I'll just be taking your lead.
That's what I've been saying for weeks, Mommy. We just gotta get out of here. There's no reason for us to be just sitting in this little space for us here. There's nothing going on. We just gotta move.
It's true, okay. We'll go and look for what we need out in the Mournland. Oh, not the Mourn, sorry. We'll go out and look in the devastated land and find what we need.
All right. Travel and hobo life. I'm all about it. Let's go.
You guys exit the cave towards the mist, which literally seemed to approach you. I said you could see out about 20 feet, but the interesting thing about this is as soon as you leave the petrified tree, it's almost like the mist try to roll towards you. You hear an immediate crackling, something from further up the fallen petrified tree, further up this hollow tower. Going around the edges, the three of you are able to see that further up, the mists have been repelled by something that is glowing up near these fallen branches, these stone leaves. Some of the magic of the wizard's tower has come alive. You happen to have seen, Nerida, Elodie, your character has seen the living magics, which, as I said, were elementals and lightning. Here it appears that flame itself appears to be walking. Perhaps that seems like home for Elodie. Do you wish to approach it? It seems to be moving amidst the stone leaves.
The tree or the fire?
The fire is moving amidst the stone leaves. The fire appears to be alive, walking and moving.
Oh, well, that don't look like no natural thing I've ever seen.
I've seen similar before. It's not a good thing. Usually they're hostile. Can't be reasoned with.
But can they be stabbed? That's my question.
You might catch on fire while you're doing it, but you can certainly try.
I've had worse.
Okay. And I guess I will, I'm just gonna reach out and be like, okay, if you want to try, then sure, and I'll cast guidance.
Hey,
Nice.
Moorman, we gonna head up your tower and look at your hoity-toity little magic lights up there? Think that might help you punch through reality?
I think
What
I
kind
used
of
to.
reality are you trying to punch? Are you trying to go to other planes?
I think that would be the safest, except for what you've told us. If this chaos has been brought from your order, your binding of these other places possibly caused this problem here. But I think this creature is maybe one of the lesser things that I used to power my tower with. I will see if I can get it back under control.
So what, like an elemental engine?
Of course, yes. And I'll try to dominate monster.
Absolutely. What do I have to roll against that? It's
18 wisdom.
18 wisdom. Okay. With Dominate Monster, do you give it a command to find out whether or not it's been successful? Or does it say whether the monster immediately turns against you? What happens? That way I know how to give the proper response.
It says I have a telepathic link if we are connected. So I would know probably immediately that it failed and that it became hostile.
As soon as you cast Dominate Monster, you get a searing pain in your head. You realize that this creature, whatever it is not a living creature in the sense that it would be a monster you could dominate. It is unlike anything that you've tried to connect with before, and you, as a wizard, have even reached out to the infernal planes. This is like you literally grabbed on to raw energy ripping into your mind. You get no sense of consciousness to dominate.
Not what I thought, not right.
All right,
And
now
then
I
we kind
stabbed
of
the shit out of
panic.
it, right?
You
I'm
can
gonna
try.
take that as a yes. And he lets out a high-pitched
You
screech
took-
and just...
I had to roll for it. I had to look it up. You took 12 points of psychic damage from trying to dominate that monster.
Okay.
I would like to have Shin Split do a screech and just start running towards the monster with this knife raised high.
Sweet. Shin Split starts charging forward, man. You're like hopping over these little things with your little halfling legs, diving in and out of the branches. And you come closer, and again, this raw, what looked like flame from a distance, you realize now is half light shining out in different things. The light seems to flicker back and forth. And are you just diving headlong into this thing, or what are you doing?
Oh shit, that's big.
Yeah, it's
How do
roughly...
you stab light?
With much skill.
The most interesting thing is, as you holler back, how do you stab light? The light seems to almost rotate like a disco ball, and you see numerous beams of this light start shining on you, and it seems like this living light, most noticeable by the mist itself, comes towards you, almost like a laser that you can only see by the particulate in the air, and suddenly you automatically understand. This is why the mist is recoiling. The light seems to be eating the mist, and now the light is coming towards you. It closes the gap, and I would like to roll for initiative, everybody.
Seven.
Ooh.
I rolled a nat 20.
Very nice. 16.
Roll 20. That would be Shin Splint.
It's my turn for
And
like the thing I said.
16
Oh yeah,
for
this works
Elodie.
every time. Doesn't
And
work.
7 for Mormir.
It's my turn.
So Shin Split, you are top of the round. This thing starts coming at you. And it's moving not quite as quick as light, but much faster than you would have thought for something as large as it is. It probably is about 8 to 10 feet tall and easily just as wide.
Oh, it's fast! It's fast! Warby, it's fast! How do I stab it? And I'm gonna start running back towards the other two. Warby, how do I stab it?
Are you just using your movement, or are you also using a dash action?
I'm gonna run all the way back to him. because I'm kind of like, okay, I want to try to at least stay at least 30 feet ahead of it the entire time, but I'll move at its pace.
It's faster than you. You're a halfling. You have 25
Then
foot
I'm
movement.
going as fast as I can.
So that's why I was asking. It's like you're using your dash as well to get 50 feet then. Unless you have some other ability that I don't know about.
I don't think level 4 rogues get any kind of... well, Barbarian. I do have extra speed from that.
Okay, so what does that get your speed up to?
I think 40.
So 40, and then you're using that twice to get 80?
Yes, looks like it, yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure because, again, it's going to come into it. So, literally, this thing, which has a base at 40, is also using its. Literally, you're running, and the light is, like, right at his back as he gets closer. So, literally, you're actually equal in movement. You start sprinting away, hopping over stuff. Here's the problem. It's difficult terrain for you as a fallen tree, the shattered stone, but the light has no problem. It's not affected by the terrain at all, which actually allows it to close with you. And as the light starts touching you, your skin immediately gets these 3rd-degree burns rotating up. Please make a Constitution save for me.
21.
Awesome. You start seeing it fry on you, but you know what? You're like, hell no, I don't think so. You get resistance to the damage, and it rolls low. Anyway, you take 2 damage because I rolled a 4, and you take half. So only 2 damage from the burning light. Yeah, it's frying at your back a little bit, and you come back, your little butt smoking, and you run back to these guys. But now it's this creature's turn, which, like I said, was trying to keep up with you. So it used its full movement and its action just to try and keep up with you as it came after you. No attack action this round from the creature, which puts up Elodie.
Yeah. So this creature, it appears hostile.
It's just moving behind him. If it's a creature at all, it's just this light ball.
Whatever it is. Okay. Well, I
It might be lonely.
No. So, did Mormir say out loud that his Dominate monster didn't work?
I screamed in pain.
Okay, so I don't really know. Alright, so I am going to use my... How far away is this thing from me right this second?
He ran all the way back to you, so probably within 10 feet.
Okay!
He basically brought it home.
Okay!
Look, I brought somebody for dinner. You just might be dinner, though.
Tell me how to stab it!
Okay, sorry, I'm still getting used to this spell list. There's a lot of spells on here that I've never had, that I know what they do, I've just never had them before. So, I am going to... Yeah, I'm gonna say out to it aloud in, I'm gonna try to speak to it, it's within 10 feet, I'm gonna try to speak to it telepathically. I'm gonna say, halt there, don't come any closer, in fact, back off, or else.
You hold out your hand and give it this command. I will need to know, because it has its action first. You don't hear a response. You won't know whether or not it's going to obey you yet until I get done with, get back to its turn. But it does not respond.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was about to say, Mormir, the pain in you from the psychic blast has a lingering effect. So when we get around to your turn, I'll be approaching on that one and asking you about that. So, Elodie, go ahead.
If you don't back off, I'm gonna hurt you, and I'm gonna shoot out Eldritch Blast at it.
Okay. So you command it to stop, and now you're casting.
And then it doesn't do anything. It doesn't appear to have. So I'm gonna shoot at it. Roll 4d20 plus 9. So I'm just rolling 4d20s because I have 4 blasts. So each one of these is individual, not the total.
Wonderful.
So one is a 23, One is a 21, one is a 25, and one is a 16.
Fantastic. Eldritch Blast. Let me just take a look real quick.
It is force damage.
That's beautiful. All right. 3 hits. Roll for damage.
Okay. Let's see. Yeah, it only does. So it's 3 of them hits. 16 force damage. Yay!
16 force damage
That's a
in.
warning. Well, I'll do something worse.
Wonderful. Mormir, you are up.
All right. This thing is approached at great speed. I want to save my friends the best I can. I knew coming outside would be bad for us. And I will cast a wall of ice between us and it. It is a dexterity 18 save.
Okay, thank you for that. Okay. And if it makes a save, is it half damage or?
It takes,
or the
it
wall.
takes half.
Yeah, because you're not casting the wall on it. You're casting the wall in front of it, right?
Between us, yeah.
Yeah.
To try to protect us.
Okay. Describe what happens when this wall comes up.
So out of the ground, this just giant 30-foot wall, 20 feet across of ice. The frost buffets back this creature, and it just comes up, and I roll. So if it saved 10d6.
Okay.
So he takes 13 or 26. If it's saved, it's 13.
You watch the ice, and the ice glitters as this light seems to hit it, seems to refract inside it, and you can all see through the wall of ice that this wizard casts the light moving about. Now, does this mean that you didn't need any arcane focus or any of your stuff? Because earlier you said you didn't have
I
your
have my
stuff.
arcane focus. It's the big staff of
Okay.
the tree. But what I don't have is like any material components worth anything. So
Cool. Well, you are at your tower, don't forget. That was one of the
I
reasons why I
have
was
to find. I have to get into it and figure out. Yeah.
So
If there's anything there.
the light comes up. Your wall, you said it's 30 feet high or 30 feet wide?
It is like, okay, so the way I read it is it's 1 foot thick and then it's 10 by 10, but you can build it however you want.
Cool. So is it 30 foot tall or 30
Yeah,
foot wide? What are you doing?
I just wanted to make sure that I'm not lying.
That's fine. We're good.
I think it's 10 foot panels, so I was just doing 30 foot by like away from us like that. So whatever I can do is like a 30 by 30, I think is what it looks like.
Okay.
It gives me 5 or 10 feet or something.
As you create this massive wall, and as you do, you all hear this bellowing. I don't know if you want to call it a scream or if it's more like a roar, but whatever it is, it's in the distance, almost like whether it's seeing this light or seeing the refraction of light through the glass, because just like holding a crystal in front of a light, your ice has now refracted the light everywhere along this wall. Of course, the brightest part is right in front of you, but it seems almost like this combination of ice and light has done something fantastical, and it's caught the notice of something far out and far away from you. You hear this roar as the light continues to move, taking its damage from you. You stand protected by the wall for the moment. The light starts moving, what appears to be trying to get into the ice, which just shoots more light out. It takes further damage, and then you see it start moving off to your right, as if going along the wall. Perhaps it's lost interest in you. It's not rushing as fast as it was when it was chasing the halfling, but now the light on the other side of the wall is moving to the right. Now, you do know that the wall is only about 15 feet long going to either side.
Yeah.
So it'll probably reach the end here in just a moment. What do you want to do?
Then you said something was going on in my head still, probably.
The pain is lingering. Yeah. Oh, the
Yeah.
effect. Hold on. Yeah, you took the psychic effect. I need you to make a con save, please.
16.
Okay. You find that the pain has lessened, but you take another 4 lingering points, and it's as if you're coming off of a bad headache. As this lingering pain lessens, but you continue to, and again, it's psychic damage.
We appear not to have much time. We need to go back. There's problems.
Big roar aside, a way to give him the cold shoulder there, big guy. Huh? Cold shoulder. It's so funny. I crack myself up. Come on, let's go. I don't want to burn my ass again.
Everybody's big to a halfling. Sorry, I couldn't resist.
Hey, that's fair. You might have your shin split too.
Well, don't forget, Elodie is the one that, just sat here and she's spoken against it and blasted it with the Eldritch Blast. Are you inviting her along too?
Yeah, we gotta go. Come on. Are we going up the tower? Come on, let's go while it's going around the wall.
All right.
I don't think there is no tower left. He described it as the tower is fallen. The tower is this petrified tree, if I understood him correctly.
So what you guys see is like a cave. So you guys saw like a cave entrance from afar away while you're coming up to it. And so when you reached it, what you didn't see was that it used to be a mountain, and it was like a mountain of tree. Petrified old ancient tree that grew up and spiraled up and was a mage tower. So now that's all smashed into the mountain, just destroyed. So there's nowhere to run but back. I could try something. I don't know if it will work.
Don't we want to get one of your magical doodads up there or something like that?
It would be nice to have my components. That would help us immensely. And I will now cast another spell. I will cast Pass Wall directly down below us. So it makes a 5 foot wide, 8 foot tall, 20 foot deep passage into the mountain.
Punching a hole through reality. I told you, you could do it.
So I take off my giant branch. I just take some of the sesame seed and I throw it at the ground, and you guys see just this cave entrance, kind of like the one we were just in, just open up below our feet and go into the mountain, just hoping that there's something that we're gonna punch into.
This hole opens, and literally just the ground literally disappears as it just kind of rolls back into itself, giving a straight shot down. And down below, you see, after it passes down, just opening into the ceiling of a magnificent room. The room that, of course, the wizard knew was here the whole time, because not only did his tower go up, it went down as well into this alchemical laboratory. You can see glass vials and beakers shattered all over the ground beneath you. Do you take the 20-foot leap down into the ceiling and then another 10-foot drop to the floor? So it would be about a 30-foot drop.
He took the jump. He already jumped. He went down as soon as he punched through. He's like, oh, you punched a hole through reality. Let's go.
Yeah.
Jumps in.
Do you have anything to mitigate fall damage?
I don't.
Okay.
I'm gonna use a couple instances of mold earth to bring some of the ground up to meet him and then lower him back down.
Oh, there you go.
And myself as well, so that we don't take really any damage if we can avoid that by going down into this.
Sweet. Moments like you
spikes out of the water.
Dive headlong and the ground comes up to meet you. You've only passed about 10 feet when it does so, of which you take 3 points of damage, so no problem. Literally, she saves you from the fall damage and whatnot. And then the ground also comes up and brings the wizard down. In the meantime, the very ground that she's molding is shaking, and you realize that that roaring, whatever has come close, is headed this way. Looking up above you at this passageway that's opened, you see the light moving at the top of it. The living light that Shin Split ran from only moments ago.
Okay, you want everybody to come down here when we can cover up that hole with your fancy little moldy earthy spell?
Okay. jump down and I do the same thing for myself, but this time I like mold the earth to take me all the way down, so I don't take any damage if I can avoid it.
Yeah, that's what we just said. You had said you wanted to do all three. All three of you are down there.
I'm getting all of us down in that method.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
But you're trying to block the entranceway now?
Yeah, I'll cover up the entrance with mold earth. I'll just bring some of the soil up and some of the stonework and just...
Moments later, as you continue to bend the earth back into shape, whatnot, you've closed this off, and you find yourself with only one light in the room, one ever-bright lantern left, a forever flame glittering on the wall, in this, the wizard's alchemical lab. Mormir, what is the greatest thing about this lab?
Okay, most of these things are destroyed. I wouldn't touch any of the green, probably not the yellow or the blue. If any of it mixed into purple, don't taste it.
Mormia,
Yes.
I'm colorblind to green.
Okay, don't touch anything.
He says this.
Okay.
As he tells you this, you're looking at him literally standing in a puddle of green, and his shoes that he's wearing are starting to smoke. But of course, your focus, Mormir, isn't on the green. It's on that greatest thing that you knew when you opened the passageway down here, if it survived, might really help you. And looking over, you see the mirror at the far end of the room. The mirror, which doesn't have silvered glass, doesn't have a refractive surface like that, but has instead a flat plane of grown crystal. One of your greatest treasures.
Good. It survived. Okay. And I'll go...
Splint out of the goop.
No, it was me, I think. So I'm walking as I'm sitting.
Oh, is it you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, and I'll go and grab my mirror, my crystal mirror. Okay, this is an artifact of great importance. We will be able to use this for sure.
Okay.
I don't know if it will help find your friend, but we can use it for sure.
As soon as you lay hands on it, the mirror responds to you. The crystal becomes an actual image, an image looking out at what you were used to using to look around the land, see who was coming, and everything else. But now you look out through mist and you see the towns, what you think might even be the former capital, and it lays in waste. And it's almost as if you were looking through a floating eye to look around. And as you hold it, since you are attuned to this item, it responds to you. You're able to control the movement of this. Now, the magic of this mirror is that you can take it from wherever it is looking. The attached entity, which you've never fully identified, can be commanded to go elsewhere in the world, and you can do this once per day. Where would you have this thing go that you might see out of its eyes?
Do you remember about where you were when you came to our plane? Because otherwise I will use it to look at about what is above us.
I was in the mist. There weren't really any things that I could see. No landmarks or anything.
Unfortunate. Okay. And I'll command this to go like right over where my tower used to be. So it should land right above us.
The whole crystal goes black for a moment. And then slowly the image comes back. And you find yourself looking out from above the cave, down at the shattered tree. You see the light down in this pit where Elodie has bent over the earth, but she bent over what was close by to close it off, and yet the top part of the pit, that 20-foot gap, is still there, and the light seems to be moving around within it, a light held in this earthly grasp, this hole. The vision that you see looks down at the tree, and you see the mist slowly rolling in over the petrified tree. And as you do, you see some of the branches fall as if shaken, as if the earth was shaking, and down below where you hold the mirror, you feel an earth tremor, as if something was approaching, as if massive footsteps. You as an individual from Cyre remember the massive Goliaths of House Cannith, that they would create these things that were literally as large as villages that could walk on two legs. And you are forced to wonder, could it be one of those approaching? The same type of tremor has happened previously.
I think I need to end our tunnel, and I'll move my hand to the pass wall and end my thoughts on it so that it ends our way escape as well.
With that, you're looking through the vision, and you can all see this crystal, while it's attuned to him to be controlled, anybody can look at. And you watch this vision of the light in the ground suddenly be consumed by the earth as it closes up, swallowing around the light. And with that, the mist starts to roll in above you.
We can look here. I believe I may have had a backup component bag somewhere here. And I'll start looking through my things, the disheveled room, for anything I can use while I still watch through the mirror.
It takes a little bit to find the bag, and you find both your traveling bag as well as many of your other supplies here. You spend about 10 minutes gathering them up, but you notice something immediately that the others probably wouldn't. All of your paper here is gone. In fact, you actually find the leather bindings of a tome, but every page inside it is gone. This is where not only did you make potions, but oftentimes you would make spells on parchment that could be cast from. And it appears that the pages have been gone. Not torn out, they're literally just gone. The wire inside it, the fabric and the glue is still there.
Mormia, I don't exactly read a lot of books, but that doesn't seem like it'd be a very useful one.
I agree with you.
Is that a mirror? Can I see it?
Yeah, I just absentmindedly will pass him the mirror like
that is a handsome devil.
All these 10 minutes were going on, since you said it took about 10 minutes. Can I have done something during that 10 minutes?
Absolutely. What you want to do?
I would like to cast Scrying.
Okay. And what would you like to scry on?
I'm going to attempt to scry on my traveling companion to see, and I know him well, and to see if he is on this plane of existence or not. For the record, he is a male tabaxi paladin.
You're male tabaxi paladin. And you said he's a long-time companion?
Yes.
So you said you only recently came to this plane, so he's been traveling the other planes with you and whatnot.
Yeah.
Moments later, you have a vision of your friend, and you can see around him with your scrying as well, and you take it that this individual is sitting atop of what looks to be a wrecked house, looking out all around the individual. You can see forms moving, people moving, but because you've already traveled some of this land, you catch on to something immediately. These figures aren't normal individuals walking in city life as they appear to be. These are those undead shadows living out the days that happened just a month ago. These shades of them former selves, like living memories.
Alright. So I come out of my screen, and he looks like he's okay. Like, he's just sitting on a rooftop overlooking everything.
You've seen him sit in this pose before where he's calculating next steps. And which led you to look around, and yeah, he's alive.
Okay. So as they go through their component pouch and look in the mirror and stuff, I'm going to say, okay, so my traveling companion, he's safe, he's fine, we don't need to worry about him. Eventually I'll reconnect with him, but he's safe for now, so we can worry about that later.
Well, I believe I could get us to him relatively easy if I knew where he was.
Question for the DM, did I see any trees in that vision of mine?
No, he's in the middle of a village and whatnot, so you can only look right around there and whatnot. You can see him in the immediate vicinity.
Alright. So I'll describe the village details that I saw. Because I don't know that they know exactly what I'm talking about.
You're working from a description and whatnot, and of course it's an entire nation, so I'll give you an opportunity, Colton, to roll based on this. Dan, you can roll as well for your character, and I would like you to make a history check I think that's
honestly,
kind of fair. Or survival, whichever one you'd like.
He's probably not even totally paying attention at the moment. They'll have to get his attention because he's sitting over there with the mirror going like, here he comes, Mr. Capital City.
So, Colt, I'm going to let you make the roll, but you have disadvantage because it's based on a description. You didn't actually see anything. So we're just going to kind of give it an odd chance to just see if you can get that high.
It's an 11.
You got no clue by her description. It could be anywhere. Rooftop, she did give some descriptions, colors of the rooftop, width of the streets, how people were dressed, things that she thought would be helpful, but you've lived here, again, this is where your tower is. This could be anywhere in Kyrie.
And I've been spying on all the cities for a long time, so... Okay, and you've been traveling for how long? How long have you been out in the waste?
Not very long at all. Maybe a day.
Okay. And what towns are within a day's reach of here?
As the wizard flies, or within a walk, or what are we talking about within a day's reach?
No, well,
because you don't.
Didn't say how they traveled here. I kind of try to coordinate what in my mind the towns that are nearby within a day, because I keep going on this impulse that they would have been split from the realm, but maybe could have been 30 feet apart, but in the mist,
And that's exactly it. You start calculating in how because she came on foot. You're figuring, okay, you're moving. The mist is out there. It's incredibly dangerous because you've tried to foray from your cave a few times from your tower, and you run into just horrors and nightmares. So you're like, it'd have to be really close by. And you do know that this mountain that you have for a tower/mountain tree, nearby there's a hamlet that you often traded at. It's more of a farmer's town and whatnot. They trade back and forth. Their biggest thing that they were always excited about was they made the most tasty and beautiful squash ever throughout the land. Theirs was imported all over. Brellish princes were known to eat this dish of the squash, but that was their claim to fame.
I have been hungry for some time, and you say this friend of yours is...
Oh, hungry? Is we talking about food now?
We haven't eaten in a month. I'm barely bones.
Yeah, I can go for some squash right now. Don't know why I'm thinking about that, though.
Probably because with the rhythmic shaking of the ground that appears to be getting worse and worse, it might have gone through your mind that you're going to get stepped on and squashed, so it kind of makes sense.
I have an idea. It might not be the smartest idea that I've ever come up with. We have two paths. I could take us to the nearby town where you would have been close to before. Maybe your friend will be nearby, maybe not. Or I could open a magnificent mansion, a recreation of my mage tower, and we could eat and sleep and have a good night before our deaths.
Oh, you think we're going to die?
It seems almost guaranteed.
You're just not used to hobo life. Come on, let's do what we're gonna do. Let's go. Let's go.
Well, I could also just take us to a whole other plane. I wouldn't be able to bring my friend along, of course, because I don't know where he is. But I could take us to the astral plane. I could take us to the Feywild. I could take us to any of the elemental planes.
It would make us safe, but it wouldn't save your friend. I feel...
No, but I think his goddess is on his side.
Okay.
What? We were trying to find your friend, though. Weren't we? Did I miss something? I wasn't looking at the mirror.
I don't really know what's going on. I just know that we appeared here and we just already saved the world, and that was a lot, and now we're doing something else, and I don't know what we're doing.
Wow, I didn't ask for your backstory or anything like that. Are we helping your friend or not?
Oh,
no.
Okay.
It's a bit cold.
Oh, my.
I want to go away from this place. I just felt that I would do the best I could for you. With there being so many dead and all of the people that I've looked over my whole life now, I think...
I'm sorry for your loss. I'm sorry if I seemed insensitive.
Yeah, it's not that. It's if I could just save any of them, it would have been good. And to think that you would just leave this man to a fate worse than death, it appears, out there.
Really, what's going on up there? Is it that bad?
Oh, it's pretty bad. There's like a lot of people that are looking all kinds of nasty now. I mean, I don't think there's anybody alive out there.
Okay, maybe I should go help Kato.
It's pretty bad.
Okay. He's pretty good at looking after himself, but...
And again, this isn't a certainty, and I'll go to teleport us to the hamlet.
You begin to prepare your teleport spell as the roof, the shaking has gotten so worse. You're now certain that it is footsteps approaching of something massive. And literally there is rocks coming through as you begin to cast this. I'm guessing it's a mass teleport spell to take you all?
Yeah, it's... So it depends on how familiar I am with the place that we're going. But it always has a chance to go awry.
Okay. And the hamlet you are incredibly familiar with, actually.
Yeah.
At least as it was. And now having gotten a... well, actually, no, because your creature, you don't have a vision of the hamlet right now.
Mm-hmm.
Because you only have what she described, so... Her description could be the hamlet. I guess that could be, sure. Why not? You want to try for the hamlet?
That's the goal, yes. Just outside, maybe the goal would be 150 feet away from it.
Very wise. You picture yourself on that road that leads down off the mountain outside the hamlet. A moment later, the magic envelops you all, and in a moment, you find yourself suddenly choking. The air has changed from this underground air beneath his tower that he previously couldn't get to because the stairs had been closed off and whatnot. But once he'd opened it, he had found all his supplies. Did you bring the mirror with you by chance? This massive 4-foot mirror. Okay. So you've got this massive mirror with you and whatnot. And as you can see, the thing back your entity, which again, you can't command to jump through time and space, but it has a traveling speed. This entity looks out and you can now see what was coming. There's this darkness like walking trees through the mist that comes towards it. Boom, 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 boom. And as this entity comes into view, you catch the idea of what looks like a steel tree coming down right before it. Your entity moves, the figure moves, and it can't quite get back far enough because as it tries to get in the large thing, the mists are in between. But then a tree comes shooting through the mist right towards your entity, passing into the earth, and you realize it's multiple trees. No, it's fingers. This gigantic metal set of fingers is raking into the earth, ripping out parts of your tree as if digging down, looking for something beneath the earth. In the meantime, you have rematerialized. Your spell didn't put you quite where you wanted, but close enough. You're off the path by about 200 feet inside of a squash patch. How do you know you're inside of a squash patch? Because all your feet feel funny. Literally, things are squishing under you. And there's cries from down beneath you.
Ew.
And as she starts to dance around, ooh, 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 you hear more cries. And every little squash that you're stepping on bleeds out. Please, no. Ah, help. And you realize they're alive, these little things. And as you step on them and crush them, you're literally splitting them open. And as they split open, instead of just squash innards pouring out, it looks like intestines and blood pouring out as you step on these things. Literally, the vines start pulling them, trying to move away from you. You horrible things that are stepping on them.
Ooh, gross. Usually it takes a couple of stabs before I start seeing stuff like this.
Oh no.
I don't believe the squash will be any good anymore here. We can see what else is wrong. Everything seems a bit weird here. And I'll kind of attach the mirror to the big giant tree trunk kind of staff, gnarled staff that I have.
How strong are you? Because this is a 4-foot mirror and you're carrying a tree trunk, so I just kind of want to...
I have a 17.
Oh, that's really strong. So,
I'm a big Goliath wizard, yeah.
dude, are you using a spell to attach it, or what are you using?
I just figured that it has like my tree trunk has like a branch, so just I put it on.
Would you like some help with that? I can help you with that.
Sure, that'd be
I'll
great.
use Druidcraft to kind of grow the branch around the mirror so that it holds the mirror in place.
Moments later, you're now carrying this massive thing with these branches that wrap around and hold the mirror like this gigantic, almost flag for anybody to see. This 7-foot tall staff, this 4-foot, what was long, is now turned on its side. Mirror at the top, like a gigantic banner above all your heads.
And then I'll cast light onto the mirror. And it seems if that fog is nearby, it doesn't like light. So hopefully this will help us banish that back away as well.
But I mean, if light is what caused that other thing to start roaring at us and all that other stuff, you think this is a good idea?
Speaking of the roar, again, you're now at the foot of a mountain, and while you guys can't see everything, that roar that you heard in the distance happens again, and it's much closer now. It appears to not just be horizontally in a direction, but up as well, as if it's in the mountaintop.
We don't have much. Yeah, we don't have much time.
Yeah, so
Name.
I'm gonna need all you little squash people to get out of the way. Come on, let's get out of here. We got
step around the
places to
squash.
go.
I'm not stepping on the squash if I can help it.
I'm gonna try to like shift my feet like forward like this, so I'm just scooting through, shuffling through like somebody rubbing their socks on a carpet.
It takes a little bit as you guys shuffle your way out of the field, the whining and the whimpering of the squash, and the vines trying to pull their little squashlings out of the way. Only a few.
I'm sorry.
Only a few are severed, but you do no real damage as you finally escape the squash field. And then one final little voice comes from the squash, "Don't come back!" as the wizard leaves the field.
That is the plan.
I'm starting to feel like some squash bread. You know, we could make some squash pie. Make some fried squash.
That made you hungry then, the bleeding of the squash.
Not necessarily the bleeding, although being next to a hamlet does make me realize I could go for a little bit of bacon right now.
He says this, and almost as an answer, there's a squeal that sounds like a pig in the distance, but it would be over near the buildings.
Well, that sounds like a trap.
I'm pretty good with animals mostly. I can try my hand. How are you there?
I'm alright with animals. A little bit.
They couldn't know or have information we could use. They're not the worst at giving us things.
Possibly. I'm not really capable of communicating with them.
Oh,
That's
you
not
know,
really my
this
forte.
This actually really reminds me of this one story I once read, which this was a long time ago, but I heard it was a story about a jackalope and like an alligator, and there was a dog too. It was such a funny story, though. I don't remember how it went.
How are you with them then? Are you just good at stories? Maybe that would entertain them.
Oh, I'm good at petting them and biting them, but that's about it.
Right. Kato! Kato, are you here?
All right. I'll make my way towards the sound of the pig.
Hopefully this Kato person isn't in a Kato oh no position. Am I right?
Again, you can't see into the village yet because of the mist. You're gonna have to get into the village before you can actually see some of what's going on in it. So you start calling out for Kato. Our wizard is using his light spell on top of this massive 4-foot mirror to try and pierce ahead of you into the mist and whatnot. And you head towards the sound of the squealing, which actually you realize as you get closer, while you had heard one loudly, it's actually multiple, which might mean bacon for everybody. I mean, get a bunch of pigs. This is going to be some good eating. As you get towards the town, you see movement ahead, the mist stops at a certain point. And now you can see all the buildings. And it appears the town is untouched. Unlike the tower, which got ripped down, the village appears perfect. It's fine. At least these houses closest to you. And of course, Mourning, you know there's probably only about 20 or 30 houses here total. In fact, they usually have a big, again, because of the squash festival and the people that come for it, right near the marketplace is this massive dining area where they serve every type of squash creation imaginable. And maybe perhaps somebody has the market, perhaps a greater wizard than you save the town because it looks great here. And in fact, now you can see some people in the distance moving through the streets. Do you wish to go on in? I mean, clearly, this might be where your buddy Mourning is. Perhaps he found the safest place of all. He might be looking for you amidst the crowd moving on the streets.
Well, I said it before, but this seems like a trap.
I am hesitant as well. This other creature is not too far away, and it leaves this place untouched and my tower destroyed.
Oh yeah, it's awful everywhere. Why is this place the exception? That's strange.
Is there something magical going on, perhaps?
It requires some investigation. I think the first step in avoiding a trap is knowing that there is one.
Okay.
And I'll cast Arcane Eye.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll start using it out to see what I can see into the town.
Your arcane eye, similar to the entity itself attached to the mirror, moves before you. And as you look through it, you realize something right away. These figures moving in the town are slightly transparent, only slightly. In fact, the eye, as you move it up and around certain individuals, seems to be mostly unnoticed. And then suddenly one small figure points right towards the eye, and then multiple faces turn towards the eye. And as you look at them and they look at you, the eyes appear to be irisless, as if the pupil had overtaken the iris and there is no color. Just large black holes surrounded by the white of the eye as they all look towards you. Many start to point and their mouths open, but of course you can't hear anything through the eye. Perhaps they're trying to talk to you.
Yeah, I'll dispel the eye, but the whole time that I was doing it, I am describing what you were describing to the party, so everybody knows that information. It appears you were right, Shinsplint.
Well, of course, it only makes sense. And why would this place be the exception? Every other place is hell. There's no reason heaven would be here.
I could go
Although
for
I
some
really do want
squash.
some bacon.
There's still the cry of the pigs in the distance.
It's hell.
I think we try our luck with the pigs first, and then we come and we'll talk to the villagers.
The pigs sound like they're from the direction of the marketplace, which would be in the middle of the village, which would mean you would have to enter into where all those people were. That was where you sent the eye ahead of you.
Now I'm just pointing this out here, everybody. If the sound is coming right and directly in the middle of the village, that's going to be the problem. I'm thinking it might be a trap.
You said your friend was on top of the roof. Maybe if we scale one of these buildings and we look for him now that we're in town.
Okay. If necessary, I can change. I can change one of you into a creature to fly, to scat out, or I can change into a similar creature.
I can be pretty useful without being a creature, but I can see the benefits of being able to fly.
Okay.
I think we might ought to just, speed this up along a little bit, though, because it sounds like that whole roaring thing back there has got a little bit of a happy moment for us coming up.
Okay.
As you're discussing this,
Yeah.
you start to hear the ground rumbling a little bit, like the marching of an army. No, it's more feet than that. No, it's faster. We would equate it to the sound of tank treads today. This rumbling that gets faster, gets closer, and is shaking the earth even more. And it's from behind you, back in the mist somewhere. You could either choose to go investigate it or not. It does appear to be coming closer to your general direction. Maybe it's coming to the village, maybe it's coming towards you, but it's definitely coming closer.
Oh, God, that thing's going to stomp all over those squash, and we're going to hear them screaming again.
All right, turn me into something. Let's find your friend and get out of here.
Okay. And I'm going to cast Polymorph. Let's see. What am I going to turn you into? Where's the CR requirement? I believe it's up to a CR of what your level is. So, undo Fae. I'm going to turn you into, there aren't really that many high CR beasts, but we want something that can fly, so maybe not a Tyrannosaurus Rex. As amusing as that would fucking be. That'd be great. I had the list open and then I went back to something else. Where's my flying list? One second.
While she's deciding this, Shin Split's gonna elbow Mormir in the leg and be like, "My money's that this is some kind of freaky tentacle cult or something like that. What do you bet?"
It's not what I've seen. It's not what I would believe that we would have.
Oh, I've got a vivid imagination, man. I feel like this. I'm feeling tentacles. They're probably gonna open their mouths and it's gonna be a.
Do you want to be something that can fly, or do you want to be something really big and scary?
Wait, who are you talking to?
Let's do a big eagle or something. Keep it simple. We'll find your friend and get out of here.
Okay, and I'm gonna turn him into a Quetzalcoatlus.
Ooh, wing it. All right. Okay, my little serpent guy, go for it. Moments later, because you're not resisting it, right? You're totally.
I'm not. No.
Yeah.
Grab them, pick them up, and I'm assuming I'm a big giant snake bird.
You got it, buddy.
I'm gonna hop on the back, near the nape. So I'm like, that way. No, that way. No, just go the way you think you go. Maybe. Yes.
How big is that?
Huge beast.
It's giant.
Okay.
It's huge, mechanically.
Wonderful. Moments later, you are all on the back, and it has a flying speed, and you guys will do your very best hanging on to this thing. Again, no saddles or anything, so try and keep your flying easy. And you're all up on the back of this. Where do you lead? Where are you trying to go to? Is it above the village? Are you flying back home? Are we going straight up into the sky?
We're gonna keep trying to kind of circle the village to see if I see what she was describing, the house and him on top of it with the villagers doing their normal daily routine.
The beauty of your magic flight is that it's not your wings and your power alone that keeps you aloft. It's literally the magic that you gather under you. And as you move, you're able to hover in certain places. You move above. You get a better view for all these figures that are moving. And they appear to be moving out of many of the houses. Some coming in, now you realize, out of the mist, as if called to this place, called towards the center. And they're gone. As you look at the individuals in the town, these spectral figures, they've come in, they've gathered near the main marketplace where it appears there's a massive celebration, and then they head out towards the far end of the village where they cross over a stream at the end of the village, and there you see this massive hotel-like towering structure with beautiful, gaily lit verandas and rooftops, and it's glowing out as you, on the back of the Quetzalcoatl, move closer to this. It's beautiful. It's like a party atmosphere. The only thing that truly is odd about it is something that only Mormir can notice. And that's because Mormir goes to himself, you've never noticed that building before. This is a small hamlet. There is no massive 8-floor high hotel-like structure. And I'd like you to make a nature check for me, please.
So I was trying to find the stat block for the creature that I am currently, because I believe I have to use the nature's roll from that to be able to make rolls, right?
Yeah, it's a +0.
Okay. So we'll just do a roll and then I'll minus. I got a nat 20.
Beautiful.
Nice!
So the most stunning thing about it is, like I said, not only is the hotel totally out of place here, but the fact that there is no stream near this village really makes you wonder when you're looking at a bridge that's going over a flowing stream. So it's not just the hotel that has appeared. There's something else magical going on here. Now, as you circle around the village, you also notice that rumbling that was intensifying, something massive, centipede-like, hugely long, going out into the mists, has come close, the body of which is bigger than these small 2-floor buildings and houses. This is like bigger than a living train, and it comes in, and it appears to have started feasting on the squash here, digging into the earth. There's screams and whatnot as you get closer, as it eats all these squash and other things and just starts burrowing into the ground. You also fly over parts of the village where you see this tabaxi on the top of a roof that is immediately recognized by Elodie.
Kato! Kato! I'm on the big safe thing! Get up here!
It appears that Elodie did not hear you. You'll have to get closer.
I'm gonna give like a little kick to the safe thing and go that way, down there!
No, I'll head towards the tabaxi.
You go down and you hover on the rooftop right next to the tabaxi, finally within shouting distance easily, and yet Elodie doesn't respond to you, continuing to watch this non-stop flow of people that, as I said, emerges from the mist, travels along the road, up towards the marketplace, and then moving from the marketplace and the buffet beyond.
Is Kato translucent at all?
Make a perception roll for me.
Okay, my passive is 21, but let me make a perception roll.
With your passive of 21, you won't need one.
Okay.
It's actually high enough to realize that at this angle, he does appear translucent. However, as you nudge the Quetzalcoatl you're riding around, you notice that his eyes have changed.
Uh-oh.
There's something, they appear more dark than usual. And even when you get directly in front of him floating, it's as if he doesn't see you, as if he's looking through you, as if you're not part of his reality. Would you like to hop off the Quetzalcoatl and get onto the roof and go to him? Moments later, Elodie leaps off of the back, lands on the roof and whatnot. Your agility and all that, you guys are level 20. You're fine. You run up there to him. And as you shove him, he is substantial. But he literally just kind of rocks back and goes to watching as if a strong wind had pushed against him.
Doesn't seem to respond to my verbal command,
Nope.
saying anything. Okay.
Putting your hand in front of his face, again, it's as if he doesn't see your hand. And when you shove against him, it's as if his perception is that no person has shoved against him at all.
Okay. Gentlemen, something's wrong here. He's not himself. And I am going to cast Detect Magic.
And as you cast Detect Magic, I would like you to roll a D15,000 for me. I should have rolled earlier on one of them, but hey, we'll take it now. It just crossed my mind, so we're using it. Would have been fun to polymorph and do something different. Wow. And instead of this, you turn into a caterpillar. I don't know.
I got a really high roll. 14684.
Wow. You're going right to the end of my table. And could you roll a d6 for severity for me, please?
That's scary. 1.
A 1. Wonderful. Give me one moment because I did not have them open, and I have to go do that. So role play amongst yourselves. Talk.
Guys, I know you can't talk because I turned you into a giant flying snake, but there's something wrong with my friend here. I'm gonna telepathically communicate with the Quetzalcoatlus and be like, there's something wrong with my friend. Exactly.
I don't exactly
Love
know
it.
a whole lot about weird tentacle cult magic or whatever, but, if you think you might be able to cut it out of them, I do have a knife.
No, I don't think that's it. I think there's just something weird about this whole place that's going on. I've got a bad feeling about that, and I'll point to that big. Did I see the big tower?
Yeah, you were all flying on the back, so yes, you all saw
Okay,
it.
I think there's something weird about that. Buildings don't come that tall where I'm from.
Well, they don't.
Not naturally.
I don't think they usually come that tall here either, but,
Okay.
I really don't think giant centipedes are typically eating squash that scream like people either, so this is all kinds of janky.
I mean, I'm used to giant elemental beings, so my loci of strange is a little off.
That's not it. Does that look like an elemental over there?
It could be. I don't know. I mean, no, it doesn't look like the elementals I'm used to at all, but we've faced... Kato and I faced stranger things.
All right, land us down, Oni Roy. Let's get down there.
Moments later, he is landing. In the meantime, the spell that you've cast. What spell did you cast again?
Detect magic.
That's what I thought. All right. The spell that you cast, thank you. I was like, just want to make sure I understand this. Your mind focuses on looking for the things, and you're kind of used to, whether it's the weave or whether it's the flow, indications of where it is, and your mind has a perfect singular clarity, as if you were seeing through a third eye, as if you would know all the understanding. And as soon as you cast it, this awareness, you look out, and it's suddenly as if your mind projects forward to not only follow the tendrils of magic, but understand where they come from. And you're on this roller coaster ride as your psyche of your mind leaves your head, goes out, and starts moving through the eyeballs of all these individuals. And as soon as you're looking out, trying to see the next part of magic, you're left there, and your spirit leaves your body. And you see her thump over to the side, no longer in control of her body, as she involuntarily starts following every line of magic throughout this place, and the entire place has become magic, and she can't stop this hopping from one moment. And every time she looks anywhere, every time her mind thinks of it, she follows from the next one to the next piece of magic, to the next person, to the building, to the rocks. She thinks of the tower, and suddenly she rockets ahead, and it's only there where she suddenly hits this wall trying to cross the bridge as she thinks of this tower, that suddenly she finds herself hovering in midair, a barrier in place, and a small boy seems to take notice of her hovering there and says, "You're not welcome here. Only the dead can pass."
Oh.
He says, "Away with you." Waves his hand, and like that, it's almost like something snaps you firmly back into your body, and you find yourself staring up into your not friends, but into these two acquaintances' eyes.
Okay. Something. There's something weird here. Only the dead may pass. Everyone's gone here. There's no saving them.
What does that include your? Well, maybe I shouldn't say it out loud. So we gonna stick around, move, not to be insensitive or anything, I'm sure you're probably dealing with a lot right now, but we'll be dealing with a lot more unless we start doing something.
Well, while she was astral projected out into the world, did she lose concentration on polymorph?
I don't think she has to keep that. Polymorph, I don't think, is a concentration for her. Is it? Am I wrong?
It is. Yeah, it is concentration.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, I totally misdid that one. So, yeah, she absolutely loses it. There's no roll. That's an instantaneous. You're gone, which means you guys fell out of the air, fall down, take some minor fall damage. I'm just going to make one roll for it. Bounce off the roof, fall down to the ground. Her body falls, and everybody's taking 8 points of damage from falling. Uncontrolled fall. Sorry about that, guys. But you find yourself now, as you wake up, these translucent beings are walking over you. You've fallen into the street, and they're passing through you and over you as if unaware of you. And whenever they pass over you, you have this sensation that makes your hair on your arms stand on end.
I could take the body of your friend with us. I don't know about his soul, if it's already passed. Or we could ourselves leave now.
Her friend doesn't appear dead at all. He's squatting on the roof, watching, and you've seen her push against him, so... Unless he's undead.
Alright, so game plan. We go to the roof, we kidnap your friend, we leave town.
I would like all of you to make wisdom saving throws, please.
A 10.
Oh!
13.
I got
This
an
is what I'm
natural
supposed
20
to be
again.
good at!
No,
No!
I have a +8, but I
I have a
rolled
plus
a 2.
11! And I rolled a 14 total!
Huh? What would you like to do? Yes, your DM is giving you no response yet.
Okay. I am going to cast Dispel Magic on Kato.
You see him up on the rooftop. You cast Dispel Magic, which, as memory serves, of course, you don't need to touch on that one. That is from a distance. And you cast Dispel Magic. When you do, as soon as you start chanting and finishing the spell, it goes off from you, and you feel as if part of you has gone out. And one of the immediate things that happens is these spectral figures turn towards you, their heads and whatnot, as if seeing you as you're launching this spell. And then they reach out towards you, because literally, as I said, some are passing through you and whatnot. And there's got to be at least 4 around you that immediately reach out. And as you're casting Dispel Magic on Kato, these individuals make a connection with you, and they have advantage on their ability check. 1 second. What is your Constitution score?
16?
So that's 2. And as you do, you find that your energy going out in the magic and their touch has created this conduit, and literally your life force is drained for 10 points of damage as they make contact with you. And as the spell ends, you see Kato seem to shrug as if there's a look in his eye for a brief moment, and then he settles back down and his eyes glaze back over. And the worst part is that you still feel connected to these individuals who seem to be able to see you, but not your friends now. And they continue to be connected to you. These 4 people that are touching you. Oh, and you can all now hear a scream from them. Their jaws open up as they see you. Their mouth, this gaping black hole, and this hollow cry comes from in them as they have their hands on you.
Is it possible for me to be able to push any of them off of her or away from her?
You can absolutely try. Go for it. As you start
Okay,
shoving against them, your hands pass through them. You're able to touch her, but not them.
Okay, so can I pull her out away from them?
You can absolutely try. Go ahead and make a grapple roll. Well, I don't think she's resisting you. Are you, Nerida? Yeah.
No.
So you automatically have a grapple. Just make a strength roll for me. And you don't even need to
Okay.
unless your strength is weak. What's your strength?
20.
Dude, you yank her off her feet like, there's this tiny little halfling. What? It's Klaak's cousin. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Our small people that are little mini Hulks. And bam, you snatch her right off her
dynamo.
feet. And as you do, these individuals continue to pursue her, now having seen her, now having caught her flavor, if you will. And they close in. But they don't seem to be attacking you. They continue to want to try to touch her. The strangest thing about it, Dan, is that as you lift her off her feet, their arms seem to elongate to make this connection with her. And then the body, like a rubber band stretched, seems to catch up quickly to them as they maintain the contact with her.
I think we need to go somewhere else.
I agree, and I will. I've had enough of this, and I'll just, when they're like moving towards her, but they're out, I'll try to space it where I can cast Weird on all of them.
Nerida, you have suffered 1 level of exhaustion as Elodie, and you cast Weird. What are the effects of Weird, or do I need to look it up?
It draws on the deepest fear of a group of creatures. You create illusionary creatures in their minds, visible only to them. It's a 30-foot radius. It's a 18 wisdom save for each of them. On a failed save, they recall and see their deepest fears, manifesting all of their worst nightmares of an implacable threat. On each of their turns, they have to succeed a wisdom saving throw, or they take 40 psychic damage.
You cast this spell, and as you do, I would like you to roll 15,000 for me, please.
Yeah. $5,028.
And then a d6.
One.
Alrighty. And then we go over to the column for the 1. And we see what we're going to do here. Come on. Enlarge, enlarge, enlarge. It's the problem when your table's that big. You cast Weird, their greatest fear. I need you to roll a d10 for me, please.
Six.
How old is your character? I know you said you're level 20.
I'm a wizard. I'd say like probably in my 80s. Goliath in the 80s, so that's probably like middle span of their life.
Okay. You age another, what'd you roll? 6?
Yeah.
46. So 24 years. Suddenly, you grow older, man. You feel the effects of age upon you. Your body suffers 2 levels of exhaustion. And now, all these things that you're casting fear on, and many of them do, 3 of the 4 that are touching her withdraw their hands, repel away as if running, as if broken from a spell, and also look more alive, more substantial as they flee from the village out into the midst. The scream can be heard. You have aged, you suffer 2 levels of exhaustion, and you notice this as the halfling. You watch, you're carrying her up above you. You see the wizard cast this spell, and you see him suddenly hunch over one individual remains in contact. That was his action. What do you want to do, Dan?
I think I die. Actually, I was wrong. If I'm 80 years old, I'm now 104 years old, and we live comparably to humans.
I was kind of surprised when you were like middle-aged for a Goliath at 80. I was like...
The Goliaths actually live slightly shorter than humans, I think.
Yeah, I think
like,
it kills me.
80s is...
So, we're going to leave you on your last year of health. You are the decrepit old Goliath, bent over now. And you can add whatever visual effects you want, whether it's slowing your speed or labored breathing. You know, we're a game and it's a role-play game, so take it however you like. You are on your last year of life. You can feel it. Your bones are old. You've lived longer than any Goliath should.
I think we have to leave. I don't think I'm long.
Yeah, I'd say we better leave, actually. I don't like this town much. Come on,
It's
lady.
coming
Let's
back.
kidnap your friend.
Elodie, you're still held in his hands, remember?
Wriggle free.
So make a opposed, unless you're going to let her go when she
I'm
starts
just
to
gonna
go.
set her down.
Okay.
And actually,
So,
what I'm gonna do as well.
Hold on, we're still in rounds
oh.
here because she still has one attached to her. I need her to make a Constitution save, please.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, because you guys are having conversations and setting her down, but there's still one that has full attention upon her.
18.
Wonderful. It seems connected to you, but with your Constitution save, you don't suffer the exhaustion effects, and for this round, no damage. But it seems intent and lays a second hand upon you, as if trying to choke your very spirit out of you.
Okay. I'm gonna shut up. Hey, I'm gonna come back for you, I promise. And then I'm gonna cast plane shift.
In the
astral plane.
Ooh, okay. You're casting plane shift?
Yeah.
And that's just for you?
Specifically to, if I can, to, I've been to a couple places in the in the astral plane, but specifically to the astral plane.
Okay. And a moment later, she's gone.
Well, I'm casting it for all of us.
Oh, is it for all of you?
Yeah.
Do they have a resistance to this? Do you need to be touching them or doing anything else? Or?
Let me double check. 8 willing creatures. So what I do is I'd be like, okay, hold my hands, and I'm gonna grab their hands, and because it's up to 8 willing creatures who link hands.
Okay, so guys, how are you responding?
Well, it's a little weird since we don't know you very well, but I'll allow it.
And Colton Mormir's just...
Oh yeah, Mormir is just like he was already scarred and almost blinded by the tragedy that befell. So he's now like dying.
Still holding on to his massive pole of light, his shield of radiant light that's casting light everywhere in his old withered hands. You guys, the plane rift open right beneath you, and suddenly it comes up over you, and then everything changes around you as you are no longer in the plane you were, but in the ethereal reflection thereof. Hear the rumbling, and you realize you hadn't noticed it, that had been getting closer, whether it was the vibration of that massive caterpillar or the footsteps that had been approaching are suddenly gone. There's no vibration whatsoever as you emerge into the ethereal plane. What would they see, Nerida?
I think the screen's kind of lagging or something there. I don't know what's going on with it.
I'm gonna try refreshing it because it did something for me too.
Maybe we're having bad internet. No, if we were having bad internet, you guys should notice that on Zoom too. But it does say our kilobits per second are really slow. I'm in red.
When I refreshed it, it's going through an ad, so I can't say just yet because it's still going through an ad.
Yeah, and it went back up to the green, so we must have had a internet lag in the cable under the ocean. It's always weird because, again, broadcasting from another country, it's like weird stuff happens.
Yeah. I think we're back up. It's showing for me anyway. It's a little laggy, but it's showing.
Cool. Thank you for that.
Same here.
Okay. So as they arrive in the astral plane, Specifically, I have designated Salune's domain, if I can have done so, which is a field of stars with floating rocks and debris of what you guys probably don't know is probably some ancient dead god. And there are arcane sigils sketched across these rocks. And this is a place I've been before. There are other gateways. Specifically, this is a connection of gateways that lead to other realms. One leads to Salune's domain. One leads to some weird place that I haven't fully explored yet, but has some sort of ancient Gith heritage. I don't know that in character, but I know that out of character based off of where Elodie is from. So it can really be kind of whatever you want it to be honest. But there are like different arcane gateways to different places within the astral plane, all connected to this big floating rock sigil.
Okay. We're going to run with this for tonight's session just for fun. But one of the things about the Eberron verse is, that doesn't exist because there are no gods, and you're actually quite limited in the Eberron verse. But tonight we're having a one-shot, and we're having fun. So absolutely.
Sure.
But I'll let
Whatever
clue you in
works
so
for
that
you,
when
DM.
we're playing the regular game, you won't be able to go to the gods and whatnot because
She
they're not
did
there.
say that she was from a different material plane.
There you go. There's some
Yeah.
strange convergence happening in Kyrie.
Yeah.
You brought me to a wonderful place to die.
Are we dead? Is that what just
dying.
happened? Did you just kill us?
No, I brought us to the astral plane. Are you dying?
I think so. I can feel it. I was already on my last leg, and now this. What a wonderful place.
And it is the perfect place for so many reasons because your main goal, which was to escape Kyrie, has been achieved. Here, with the passages to other realities, the passages to safeties, the passages to elsewhere are all open to you. But for Mormir, this has been a passage to a place of rest. His struggle over the years to build a magical domain, to build all this, like his tower, has finally come to an end. Here is the place he knows that, should he ever try to leave it, what little energy he has would be lost. But for a halfling that has punched his way, stabbed his way through, it seems like a strange ending to be trapped here on this alternate plane. But for tonight, you have achieved success. Your level 20 characters can be kept and put on the side, and should we ever need to do another one-shot, perhaps we'll pick up here with an ancient Goliath, with
Can I
a
have
young
one little
halfling.
detail? If Mormir is dying, I would like to offer to give him a little flying tour of the area. But that's all.
I can show
Sure.
you the world.
There you go. I guess it really depends on, like I said, because we could pick up here again, or
Yeah,
you
no,
could
that's
just
fine.
end it if you would prefer. Colton, to end Mormir's career with a flying death. Would you like to go on a little flight ride and say goodbye to all
That'd be
reality?
wonderful, and I'll pass my things off to them. It's so
So-
odd to be alone for so long, and then to find you all at the end. I knew
So
it
I
wouldn't make
cast
too
shape
long.
change, and I turn into an ancient white dragon. And I'm gonna fly him around as an ancient white dragon.
And there, poor little halfling
Right, I
looking
guess
up.
I'll just sit here.
Yeah, I was just thinking, I'm like, so she flies off with the wizard on her back.
You can
And
go
whatnot.
along too. It's
Yeah.
fine.
And he's like, thanks, you brought me somewhere, just abandoned me. That's it. Like, I know the way out from here. Yeah.
I guess I'll have to cut my way out. It's all right.
Come visit Kyrie, they said. Blow up the place. Get abandoned on another plane. Yeah. I'll get a t-shirt.
Bye.
Not
Wonderful.
even a chainmail T-shirt.
Yeah. Well, we didn't get the big battle that I was looking for in this session, but, I think we had fun nonetheless.
Yeah.
And Kyrie is every bit as strange, not only because of what it was on its own, but because you were there. And we now know of a tabaxi sitting on a little hamlet rooftop who's not quite dead,
Oh
but
my
is
God.
there in somewhere in between.
I'm
Having-
somehow Kid Soise's character. He's gonna kill me.
How'd you guys enjoy it?
Indirectly.
Lots of power, lots of promise. I actually thought you were going to go for some other things underneath the tower, Colton. I was like, wow, this is your area. And,
Yeah.
and nobody thought to, I was like, well, there's potions and other stuff. I was just like, this is a great
I was
magic time
thinking of
horde.
potions, but it sounded like were all destroyed, so.
No, I figured a lot of it was, but I was just like, somebody will investigate, somebody will search for something, but that's okay. Again, there's always DM mentality, and then there's
Yeah,
what
I
happens.
considered it, but my character was definitely too interested in figuring out about her friend, so.
And look at that, we had your friend in it. It was beautiful. Loved.
Yeah, thank you.
I love that halfling. I'll tell you, and I love the way you guys were role
Yeah.
playing off of one another. That was just
That
fun.
was funny.
Yeah, it was pretty fun.
His overly directness. I was like, wow, that was really something. I had a good time with that. Well, hey, for all of our fans and our viewers who tuned in with us tonight, we went a little late only because we started late. I want to thank you, but we will be on next week, 7 p.m. CST, with hopefully all the Plot Points players, where we will bring you hopefully a show that you can enjoy together with us. Thanks for being here tonight. Happy gaming. God bless. Whatever table you're at, make some amazing adventures and lasting friendships. God bless, friends.